celebrate this amazing day.
Yes, yes.
And we want to, in a special way, thank Mr. and Mrs. Richardson,
Yes.
Sarah's parents, and Mrs. Joan Bell, Rusty's mom, for making this day possible for us to be able to celebrate and join in together. I want to tell you that it's so good to have you here, Rusty, because at one point I thought that I almost lost you. We used to room together, and one particular night we were watching a movie about secret societies and things like that. And, you know, Rusty kind of got, you know, we were getting a little paranoid about, you know, the government watching us. And so we got hungry, it was probably about 2 in the morning. And we walked out of the apartment and we're walking. And all of a sudden, you know, Rusty kind of notices on the corner of his eye like a old Caprice classic driving up the road. And there's some loud music. We were in downtown Elgin. And as we're walking, all of a sudden the car kind of rolls up. And I'm just kind of, you know, I'm just going with the flow. And next thing I know, Rusty gets hit.
Oh my God.
And I got hit. And Rusty starts checking himself, and he's looking around, and fell down to the ground. And we checked ourselves on our neck, and we saw red stuff, you know. And I thought, man, I don't know what it feels like to get shot, you know. I don't know. And sure enough, the car drove past. And it ended up being a bag of fries from a fast food restaurant. And it spilled ketchup all over us. Someone from the car threw the bag of fries at Rusty and me as we were walking. So, it's so good to have you here with us, Rusty. Let me give you a little bit of a history. You know, Rusty's always been just a man of confidence in God, a man that really trusted God's provision. And you know, those of you that may know, but he's had his bouts of cars, and many different cars. And but he always trusted God in that, and he always believed that whatever car the Lord would provide for him, even if it only lasted for a week, that the Lord would provide another one that would last for another week. And he delighted so much in God's provision that one time we were also together, and he had a newer, updated car, and he took the old one that he had, and he found a guy on the street. It was in the rain, and he needed a car to get to his job, and he ended up giving the car to him. We pulled the car over, and Rusty gave the car to the guy so that he could get to work and be able to be provided for. And I remember though, in the bouts of cars and all the different things that have happened, I remember he would always say to me, and I never knew if it was the car breaking down or if it was this statement, but he would always go, "Jake, I can't find a wife in that car." And it wasn't until Rusty really gave up that desire that the Lord really entered in, and little did he know, when Rusty gave up that desire to find a wife, that God was orchestrating one right before his very eyes. And you know, a couple months ago, Rusty and Sarah came over to our house and visited with my wife and I, and we got to hear their story, we got to hear how they came together, and just the amazement of God. But how many of you know that Rusty is a better man because of Sarah? And one of the things that came up that I always remember was that there was a little bit of a conversation about a martial arts patch. And Rusty really wanted this martial arts patch, and Sarah was able to bring some insight into that and think, well, maybe instead of the martial arts patch, Rusty, we should consider looking at some other things that could be a little bit more important. And so Sarah was really able to come into the picture and really just bring balance and just help Rusty. I think to this day he has the martial arts patch. I'm not sure if he ended up getting it or not, but you know, it truly is amazing to see how Sarah and Rusty together have looked to God and to trust in God, and their lives are lives of faith. And when we can really look at them and see that it's a testimony for our lives, that it's a witness to how we should live our lives. And so many of you, just in this time today of the ceremony and all the things that we've done, but their lives have been a witness of Jesus and of the Lord. And so we're just so honored to be able to be here with them. I know that many years down the road that we look forward to celebrating you with your 50th and for all that God has in store. But why don't we lift our glasses and we say congratulations to Rusty and Sarah for this wonderful day.